Hi, welcome to the Medium channel. And this is Adam bringing you the spirituality behind the message. So tonight we're going to talk about seven, I think seven or is it eight things? Well, a bunch of things that are coming up with this very powerful full moon eclipse and some practices for us to do to keep ourselves safe. And it's a great day to be alive. We're living in the best of times. Yes, it's challenging, but we are at this time witnessing one of the greatest changes and shifts in known history. So this is a really good time. Very powerful changes in the whole structure. Power of structure is dismantling as we speak and is going to rebuild. And this eclipse is going to serve to further kind of clear the way for new, more enlightened, and more positive things to take its place. So I'm going to start in just a minute or two. I just give the live people a minute to get on. So hello, everybody. Let me put the old glasses on and see who's here. Hello, Brooke and Michael and Claire and Lisa and Susan. Welcome, welcome one, welcome all. So we're going to talk a little bit, just a skosh about the astrology and numerology. Then we're going to jump into the messages that I've been getting through astrology and numerology, but mostly through my guides and through channeling and automatic writing, and some things that we can do to help us through these changing and shifting time to help to get us into our next phase and our next level. This is a spiritual opening. This is an awakening. This is a challenging, but it's a really beautiful time. And I thank everybody that's here live and as a video for being here. Hello, Angela, as well. And hi, Tammy. So people are starting to come in, starting to get their notices, I guess. All right. So my goal is to try to keep this to 20 minutes or under if possible. We have a lot to talk about. So let's see what's going on. Well, full moon eclipse, it's happening on here on the East Coast. It's happening on the 16th. It's happening on the 15th west of here, the 16th east of here. So it's right around midnight. This full moon eclipse is going to be at 25 degrees Scorpio. 25 reduces to a 7, and 25 is a particularly emotional aspect of the number 7. And the full moon is happening in the fixed signs. That would be the moon's in Scorpio, the sun's in Taurus, and then Saturn at 24 degrees Aquarius, which is another fixed sign, is going to be T-squaring this. And Saturn deals a lot with the structures. Uranus, Aquarius, but it's Uranus ruled. It's very much about revolutionary change and things happening in the structure. Also, Mercury just went retrograde, in case you missed it, at 4 degrees of Gemini. And 4 degrees, 4 is a Uranus ruled number. So Uranus is a big player, as is Saturn, as is Neptune in this whole eclipse energy. Now, add to that, the May is a universal 11 month in numerology. 11 is about overcoming the lower natures. It's the strength card in the tarot. The strength card used to be key 11, but they changed it to key 8 somewhere along the line. And that's, again, it's the lion muzzle with clenched fists. So it's really about overcoming our own lower natures as well as the lower natures in society. It's amazing that right in the middle of the month we're hit with a really, really powerful eclipse, and eclipses stir things up. So understand they stir things up. And then we have also Mars and Neptune conjunct in the sign of Pisces, which is Neptune ruled. So that adds to the very emotional energy of this eclipse. And of course, Neptune will add, let's say, a certain je ne sais quoi to the whole equation here. So that all of this said, I'm not going to talk too much about the details of astrology. There's a lot to unpack, but you can watch Sharita Starr's video on this channel about the spring. She dives into all these aspects and gives you more details of what that means in the numerology. So that's on the channel. And as well, I will refer you to the new moon eclipse video that we did a couple of weeks ago that covers the month of May. So the information in that video is going to be part of this video also, though I'm not going to say everything. So I encourage everybody to look at that video as well. And I'm not going to link it on the live stream, but I will link it in the pinned comments when this becomes a video. So now we know there's never anything fear-based here on the Medium channel. So there's no fear, no doom and gloom or whatever. That said, this is the flower moon, and the theme of this moon is learning how to change shit into fertilizer from which flowers can grow, is the best analogy I can give for this moon. And so that's going to be an underlying theme. So let's dive right on in. I've got lots of notes here. So the first thing that we need to know, or the first point I'm making, is review and reset. So this now the eclipses are eclipses usually come in twos. Every now and then they come in threes, and the eclipses kind of put a very dynamic energy into the collective, and then the events tend to play out in the coming months or so. So everything I'm saying is not going to happen right at the eclipse. It's going to take some time to manifest, but review, that was a really important point, and I made that point number one. So basically, your Mercury's retrograde. So the retrograde, the prefix RE takes precedence. So reviewing, retracing our steps, all that stuff, resetting. This is the time to do it. Mars and Neptune is trining the moon. So the idea is to try to step back from the world and strategize and prepare for things in your life. That can be on a personal level as well as on a collective level. But this is the time to step back a little bit, get into your center, get into the eye of the storm, which is your heart chakra. That's your eye of the storm, where you can be in this place of power and wisdom. So instead of being affected by the world, you can affect the world. So that's the idea of getting into your power, stepping back, reviewing things, retracing steps, replanning things, all that thing. So that's number one. This is the time to review and reset. I'm just peeking my notes, make sure I'm not missing anything. Nope. So number two is shadow work, which is also a part of resetting. Now, the thing is that eclipses cast shadows on the earth of the light. A lunar eclipse is actually the earth getting in between the sun and the moon, so it's really the earth's shadow that's casting on the moon. Now the moon is about intuition and reflection, so again, that's part of the reset. So the thing is, this gives us a really good opportunity to dig deeper in our subconscious and to understand some of our patterns and start to redo things. Now we have 3 or 4 shadow work videos on the channel that you can look into. 25-degree Scorpio is a very emotional moon. Now, the 2 most powerful full moons of the year are the Scorpio full moon and the Taurus full moon, because when the full moon is in Taurus, and that happens in late October or November, the sun is in Scorpio. So Scorpio is that really regenerative, really kind of going into the dark, deep into the mysteries, to shining the light of awareness onto that which is hidden. Scorpio is a lot about secrets. Scorpio doesn't necessarily like secrets. Scorpio is the detective that wants to kind of look within and discover the details of everything. So emotions are going to be very, very easily triggered during this full moon eclipse, and then it's going to kind of carry in, for the next few months or so. So our shadow aspects, basically, they're all about our emotional responses. That's how we can know what our shadow aspects are, because they're shadows because they're hidden. We get programmed through what we see on the day-to-day level, through our parents, through society or whatever, and they get hidden from view. But the way that we can start to look into and know what our shadow aspects are is to observe how we respond emotionally to our own thoughts, to our own world, as well as the environment, as well as other people. Now, if you can observe your emotions without getting trapped in them or getting reactive to them, then you start to understand, because once you become the observer, then you start to understand that there's something behind this that's triggering these reactions or these feelings that I'm getting in this situation. So that's the start of shadow work. It is awareness. So this is a good time to develop awareness of that. So point number 3 is initiation. So this kind of goes along the lines of shadow work. Um, Basically, Scorpio's the sign of death and rebirth, of regeneration. One of the symbols of the sign Scorpio is the phoenix. So basically, an initiation is a symbolic death and rebirth process. When we have an initiation, the old self dies, a new, more enlightened self is reborn. So this is a really, really, for a lot of reasons, amazing time to do initiation work. What we're going to find is a lot of people around this time are going to be ending relationships, sometimes marriages, sometimes close friendships. See what else I wrote. Uranus is also at 15 degrees Taurus right now. I believe it's unaspected. Uranus, like Taurus, is about our I was going to say one thing, then the word fertility came out. All right, so maybe about our fertility also, but it's about our security and our comfort in the world and stuff like that. You put Uranus right in the middle of that sign during an eclipse, that's going to shake the foundation of what we feel is secure in our lives. And it brings about the understanding that until we accept the fact that there is no security in a world that's inherently unstable, because everything in the physical world has a beginning, a middle, and an end, so everything will die. So once we accept that, then we tune into spirit, which lasts forever. So that's the only true source of security that we have, is in spirit. And ironically, when we own that, we start to create more of a semblance of security in our physical lives. But right now, it's about endings and then new beginnings. So this is the time of initiation. And with that Uranus and Taurus energy in the eclipse, you may see sudden changes. And this is also on a collective level. So it's not just you personally, but on a collective level, there's an initiation process that's happening. So let me see. I'm just putting my glasses on because I can't see anymore. All right. Moving right along. So number 4, the structures will fall, both in our personal lives as well as in the society. These last 2 eclipses are really hitting the structure aspects very heavily. And then also USA is undergoing a Pluto return energy as well. So the Pluto return, it takes 234 years or 200. It takes a long freaking time for Pluto to circle the sun. And so we're having our first Pluto return here in the United States. So Saturn is squaring the eclipses, and that is very key. So it's squaring the sun and the moon. And Saturn is often about structures, it's about lessons, it relates to the sign Capricorn, and it's hitting this fixed sign eclipse. Again, fixed sign eclipse, really, really, really powerful. Like I said, the moon, the full moons in Scorpio and Taurus are the 2 most powerful. And you add an eclipse, and that magnifies that power of that eclipse. So we may find a lot of financial structures are going to fall, a lot of financial reset, but a lot of the government and stuff like that. And that's partly with the Uranus aspects that are coming in as well. And also, of course, what Spirit is saying. So number 5 is prepare. Um, so this is the time to prepare. We're going to see a lot of stuff moving into Gemini. In fact, this Mercury retrograde started at 4 degrees Gemini. And then it's going to back into Taurus, and it's going to go into Gemini, then Venus, and then Mars is going to sit in Gemini for 7 months. Gemini is a sign of duality. And So what we're going to see is more pressure for the polarization. We're going to start to see a almost like a dual society or two different societies emerging, because rest assured there's going to be more mandates, there's going to be more fear being invoked through the media, there's going to be more control through the corporations, the government, and the media. They're already rolling out a new normal package, and we're not going to like this. People that are more awake and aware and understand there's more than one way to solve problems, and controlling the masses, and a group that wants to take profit above human lives and safety. And I'm not going to go all conspiracy theory on you, but there's plenty and plenty and plenty more of examples of this fact, that the powers that be, that control the flow of money, and the governments and everything that's going on in the world, devalues human life, and ups the value of profit, and there's even significant evidence to support profiteering around pharmaceutical companies and protocols that have been happening. So, we're going to see a lot of these types of pressures. Now, and what else did I write down? And also an increase in natural disasters. So, other things to prepare for are things like food shortages, supply shortages. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best. That's the best advice that I could give. But prepare yourself energetically and emotionally as well. We want to be as strong in our frame. That means being grounded, and in our spirit, in our higher selves, and in our heart as much as possible. Again, this is an awakening. This is a good thing. But because of the way that things are set up, and the fact that any large scale change comes with consequences, it's also a very challenging time as well. But keep hold the line, right? That's become a new slogan, but I love that line because it comes from a song from 1982, I think, or 81, from Peter Gabriel, called San Jacinto, which is about Native Americans. And the message there is to hold the line, to hold the line of your ancestry, of your spiritual values, and everything like that. So definitely hold the line. So number 6 is there's going to be a huge opening of intuition. I'm doing some work on intuition, on psychic development, on natural healing abilities, and all that stuff. And some of the reasons for that is that the degree point of this eclipse is 25, which is Neptune ruled. You know, it could have reduced this to 7, and also the fact that Scorpio is a very psychic sign, and this is going to be a really good time to awaken intuition. Now, add to that, Mars is going to be conjuncting Neptune in Pisces. Now, Mars will go into Aries later in the month, I think in a week or so. Mars is at home at Aries. It's not at home in this watery, sentimental, emotional sign. That's not Mars's style, so to speak. And now it's conjunct Neptune, which is Pisces rulership. So it's like Mars is kind of being, drowned by water, basically. However, Mars is about our energy. So our energy naturally goes into the subconscious, into our intuition, into those types of things. So you add this full moon energy to that, and you're going to get a spark of psychic awareness. So work with that, do meditations, things of that nature. So moving right along, number 7, truth will rise to the surface. That's the big one. So I say the best for last. We've been talking about this since 2021. It's been happening in drips and drabs. This eclipse is going to send another shot of energy. Again, Scorpio is secretive. It does not like things to be hidden. And we have all the Scorpio energy with a really intense, powerful moon that's coming. This is going to happen both on the collective level, but also on a personal level. So you may start to uncover some truths in your own life, in your family, and people around you, things about yourself that have been hidden, but also agendas, news, things that are suppressed, and the censorship and all that. So it's just like kind of like like, you can build levees or whatever, but if the water keeps rising and rising, sooner or later it's going to break through that levee. So they can censor things all they want. They can mandate things all they want. More people are waking up. It's like, I think I'm into Peter Gabriel today, because quoting another one of his songs, which is called Biko, about the maligned apartheid leader, Stephen Biko, um, that was executed. But one of the lines is, you can blow out a candle, but you can't blow out a fire. Once the wind begins to catch, the flames it'll blow the flames higher, the flames will go higher, something like that. But you get the gist of that. More people waking up, more people knowing that there's something wrong, there's something hidden, there's something we're not being told, there's something that they want us to do that may not be in our best interest from a spiritual and a sovereign standpoint. These are going to come out. So yeah, I wrote a few notes here. Scorpio's about secrets and seeks answers. Saturn squaring Aquarius and Neptune. Well, again, what did I say? Saturn square in Aquarius with Neptune. That's not even right. But anyway, that Saturn squaring, the sun and the moon in this eclipse is a major player. Saturn is all about structures, lessons, and stuff like that. Mars trining moon helps facilitate that. What else I write? A retrograde brings in the past. I knew there's something I was missing. The retrograde is about the past, because it's the word RE. Mercury retrogrades especially self. So the retrograde is going to bring the past into the present and give us an opportunity to review in both our own lives as well as the lives around us. So between now and the next 2-3 months, I mean, eclipses, they say, carries into 6 months. And of course, in 6 months, we get our next eclipse season. So in some way, shape, or form, we're always being affected by the last eclipse. But rest assured, come July, we're going to see a lot. And there's other aspects that validate that. But June is going to be really building, but July, and then anyway, I'm not going to get too ahead of myself. I just want to go into things that Spirit says that we need to do. And number one, let me see if I can put this into life. Live life as business as usual, they were saying, as much as possible. In other words, there's a lot going on in the world, but try to make your life as normal and positive, and keep doing what you're doing, as long as it's safe for yourself and others and all that stuff, as long as you're responsible and all that stuff. They're saying, don't let all this energy, like, of people being in fear and panic or whatever, live your life, basically, understand, things like talking about new normals or whatever. I mean, there's no real normal, because normal keeps changing, but it's a very key word in the subconscious, because the subconscious tries to help us with our survival. So if we hear the word normal, we relax naturally, because we feel like there's a sense of predictability. The subconscious mind likes that, because that helps us survive. Those that want to lay these mandates and control the flow of things. And again, it a lot of it's around money and power. I wish I could say that it's really primarily about keeping people safe. And this isn't the individuals, the doctors or nurses, or the people that really want to do the right thing and help people. These are the ones that are controlling them. So try to make life as normal and as business as usual as possible. Prepare. Number 2 is prepare, get food supplies. We talked about that. Number 3 is meditation and inward journeying. We have a good intuitive period coming up. They want us to just step back at times. So it's make sure we get our rest, our relaxation, to step back and get our meditation time and stuff like that. And then the next thing I wrote is take action in your life, particularly in doing support work for manifesting your dreams. So it sounds a little bit like a contradiction, like step back, take action. But the thing is, during the retrograde, the action should be more in terms of preparation and planning of actions that you're going to take. But still, we don't just for 3 weeks, 3 times a year, just stop taking action altogether, right? So take action in your life is one of the messages. eclipse energy is very powerful in creating change and transformation. That's what Scorpio energy does when it's opposing Taurus, which is about routines and security. That's what it does. So even though we're in retrograde and it's a reset, it's a review or whatever, take action also in your life. So that was number 4. Moving right along. Number 5. Oh, wait. Here we go. Number 5. Continued. Okay. More for number 4, and fix the foundation. So that's part of the action also, to work on the foundation of your life. If it's your home, if it's your finance, if it's your relationships, look at fixing and strengthening the foundation. There is definitely a storm on the horizon. It's about to hit. Um, the roots, the trees that have the deep roots are the ones that are going to withstand the storm. So ground and center, make your roots deep. So number 5 is adjust your spiritual routine and stick to it. So they want us to make sure that we have a daily spiritual routine, that we can have that sense of structure in our lives, but also to look at the flaws in it or where you may change your routine. This is part of the Mercury review energy. Where can you make some changes in the structure of your routine to make it a better routine? But the idea is we need to keep our spiritual practices. Your fixed signs are the most ones that are involved in the eclipse. Your fixed signs are about structures and routine. 6 is stressing this: exercise, take care of your body. This is how you won't get the byproducts of strong emotions stuck in your physical body. If you're moving your body, things do not stagnate. If you're in a highly emotional state, reacting to things or whatever, yeah, it causes a lot of adrenaline, a lot of cortisol, and I think 15 other chemicals to be released in the body. So exercise, drinking a lot of water, cleansing, clearing, all that stuff, good diet, all that stuff. But but they really want us to take care of our bodies, and it could be that the energy or whatever is having an effect on our physical body. Certainly, the whole thing about awakening, because the vibration keeps increasing, the frequencies keep increasing on Earth. That's why more people are awakening, because the more the frequencies increase, the more it triggers DNA dormant code awakening. So every time the energy increases, it taxes our physical bodies because our nervous systems amp up. Energetic movement through the body changes and adjusts the cells. And if we're not taking care of our bodies and moving them and exercising it, then it can become a problem. But if we are, then we more gracefully adjust on a physical and emotional level to the upgrades of the frequencies that we're all experiencing. And then number 7 was nature, barefoot, grounding. They want us to do a lot of grounding and a lot of earthing. Hug trees, yoga, qigong. Now it's also root chakra month on my Patreon group, Spirit Mind Family. We're doing a lot of work on the root chakra. For those of you that are part of the group, you know about that. If you're not, it's going to be, the way to get more information about that is to go up on the live comment thread or live chat to the very first comment. I'm not gonna post my comment today, so just go to the top if you're interested. Find the link and you can get it that way. And I'm also going to post it on the pinned comments when this becomes a video. So it's root chakra month. This is all about training the root chakra, getting more grounded. So that's our membership support group. Ridiculously inexpensive and non-committed, and we give you a lot more, that a lot more value than what you pay for this, and you're helping to support this channel. So that's all I have to say about that. Number 9, this is every live stream I do your heart brain coherence, magnify the frequencies of the heart. When you increase the frequency of the heart to gratitude, compassion, and love, the heart communicates with the brain starts to come back online, and that's why it's called heart brain coherence. When I do it, I feel a head rush. It reminds me a little bit of when I used to smoke weed and I stand up suddenly. People that that smoke or used to smoke can relate to that. You get this big head rush. So when I do this, I don't need weed to get head rushes anymore. I have heart brain coherence. So I don't need drugs or any of that stuff anymore. So to do that, or an equal practice, and that's basically what I have, and keep doing. And again, look at, could I get, there was some more exercises that are still relevant that I did in the new moon solar eclipse video that we did 2 weeks ago. That's on the channel. Um, Sunday, 7. This is just going to be a few hours before the eclipse. We're going to do a powerful, they said Archangel Michael. So we're going to do a transmission for you, to help, again, prepare your energetic bodies and your physical bodies for the energy of the eclipse. Now the energy is coming in now. Yesterday was the 11th day of the moon, and today the moon and the sun are trining. When the sun and moon come into its trine, that's when we start to come into the higher energies of any full moon. And this is also a super moon, so the moon's actually going to be large and red. And we'll be able to see it if it's clear out. There's a reason I brought this up and it left my mind. But anyways, oh dear, I hate when that happens. Okay, but anyway, Sunday we're doing a transmission and working with Archangel Michael. Okay, now I remember what I brought up. So actually, we're already starting to feel the eclipse now. So it's not too early to start these things. And that's what I have. So thanks for joining me, everybody. I'm missing your comments, but I'm sure you have a lot of amazing things to say. People that came in later, of course, to go back and watch the beginning and everything. And thank you, everybody. I love you, and we'll see you at the next video. Have a really beautiful night, and we'll see you Sunday at 11 a.m. for tarot time, and then 7 p.m. for our transmission. And Thursday's our next upload. This will be about telepathy and how to use telepathy to help to gain support and favors through other people in a non-manipulative way. I'll add that also. All right. So again, thank you, everybody. Thank you, brothers and sisters. I love you. This is the greatest time to be alive. We're awakening. We're connecting as community. We're helping the world awaken. And Spirit thanks us. So, and I thank you for being here. Namaste.